Gee, glad you're up. You never know. You never know when I'm going live, and you never know who's going to pop in. I feel like the camera's zoomed in on me again. It's all good. So, what is it? I guess Saturday morning. Yeah, Friday. That speed chase. You catch that speed chase earlier. Anyone catch that speed chase out there? Yeah, we were streaming it. And according to Smoke and Scan, that chase, yeah, there is a Sasquatch behind me. Watch out. There's actually two of them. Yeah, according to Smoke and Scan, that speed chase is taking the cake so far. And he thinks it might activate a trend here, so we'll see. Yeah, it was out of control. And there's been so many, it's even throughout the years growing up, I've talked about so in Hollywood there was the 101 freeway, and it was the Sunset exit. So if you're to exit Sunset heading north on 101, that exit, you could either curve and it'll spit you out onto Sunset Boulevard, or you could go straight and that would lead you down our street, or you can make a left up Wilton or a right on Wilton. And a lot of speed chases would just come out of that freeway right there, and they go straight down because they couldn't stop because that curve would be too tight, and then you wouldn't be able to make a left or a right because it's a kind of a tight street there. So they would go straight down our street, and those streets were small there. But yeah, a lot of times we'd see those go by there, and then even outside the shop, we've seen several. Yeah, it's just a thing out here. I hear Florida, they be getting it on in Florida. Sometimes I've seen, I think Smoke and Scan has shown Ickmail, the other guy who streams as well, has shown some from I've seen some from the East Coast and stuff. But out here, you could pretty much count on the weekend for that type of stuff to go on. And then sometimes throughout the week, like this week, there was like 5 of them. And I mentioned some of them being terminated. A lot of them have been getting terminated. Now they're really careful about what they do because they're getting sued. And so a lot of guys getting away. Last year, there was a couple in Corvettes. It was like back to back, like Corvette week. And both of those Corvettes obviously got away. I mean, you're in a Corvette, you're probably going to get away, right? AXN News is on live now as well. And then Maverick Approach with Big Homie, I think they're still live as well. Quite a few people live. I think Smoke and Scan still might be live. I thought I'd go live myself just to say what's up with everybody, or say what's up to everybody, should I say? And there's Roger coming in at all hours. Roger does not sleep. This man is living life every moment, and he'll sleep some other time. Good to see you, Roger. Ran into Roger several times today, and it's kind of like that. Roger's pretty active. He's out there checking things out. We check out a lot of the same stuff, so it's good to see we're on the same frequency as well as Chi. Chiro sounds always creeping up in the chats, and if she isn't, then I am. And yeah, I thought we'd maybe check out some of the stuff. We'll see if AXN News just did they were just at looked like they were downtown LA here, and they went to a call, something about some pew pews being involved. I got a alert over on my Citizens app over in Boyle Heights, something about like 20 dudes in the alley with pew pews and all this, and I didn't see nothing else. I don't know if they deleted that. I got the notification, tapped on it, and I didn't see much after that. So, but it is possible. I wouldn't doubt that happening. Some of those alerts sometimes are, you got to look into them. Could be false alarms, false false alerts. What's going on this weekend? Actually, today over at the asylum next to the smoke shop, they had another event there. Had some breakdancers again. I don't know if they were like if they were actually breakdancing or just pop locking. And pop locking is just like more uh upper work, like as to where breakdancing is a lot of floor or groundwork, people on the ground doing all types of moves and stuff. Pop locking is more just moving the body and stuff like that. I didn't stay for it, but it was a good turnout. There was vendors outside, DJs playing. So the asylum has been pretty busy. And then tomorrow they're having a drumming uh I don't know what to call it. I guess you could call it a drum circle, but they're having a professional drummer, I guess, come out. I heard, and they're going to be teaching. I think it's going to be for the kids. Maybe the youth are going to be doing some drumming there. And then Sunday they're also doing some drumming. And then after the drumming on Sunday, I'll be doing a little DJ set for them. So looking forward to that. And that's had me pretty occupied. And I've been talking about and sharing what I've been doing as far as the music. So getting back into the whole music thing, it's been exciting, pretty exciting. Been doing little sound check tests here, and yeah, just dusting off the dust, brushing off the dust, and yeah, getting my hands back. Like like pitchers, and I'm sure all types of people who use their hands or just anything. You play instruments. I'm sure Chiro sounds. You got to warm up your hands and stuff before you play your instruments. Chi plays all types of instruments, which is amazing. What would be cool, Chi, is to get some like sounds from you. Like you could play sounds and I could use my audio recorder and record sounds and I could use those as like samples and stuff like that. Yeah. We used to like record sounds from like nature and stuff like that and use it in our music or any types of sound. Even guys that were like producing dubstep. I remember hearing some producers talk about they were using power tool. They were sampling power tool sounds. Yeah, you could. It's endless. Yeah, the arts. I got AXN here on the XN News on the phone here, so I'm watching. Anything major pops up, we'll go on live there. But yeah, what is going on in SoCal? We've been reporting on some things, and the other night I forgot to share. And this is a heads up. This is in our neighborhood, and very very unfortunate stuff and stuff like this. It happens. It's calmed down a lot. People compare certain years, but I can't say it's calmed down. It's still happening. Maybe there's years that have been more active, and then like things change, cultures change, style of dress, activities change. but the those elements are still there. It's a lot of dark stuff, and it's like spreading. You hear a lot more crazy stuff happening in other places that you didn't hear uh, things like that happening so much. And we'll take a look at this. This is over on Insta, and again, this is in our neighborhood here. And prayers out to the family. But check this out. Let's see. We got the volume. Let's put the volume up.
It is a bit of a mystery what happened here. You can see that there is a tent on this street. That is where the victim was found around 7:30 this morning. Police tell us they got a call around that time, somebody walking in the neighborhood who saw somebody who had collapsed on the sidewalk. When police and fire got here, they found
This was again like I think 3 days ago now. I was gonna share it yesterday, but I forgot, got caught up. And yeah, 17-year-old. I don't know if you can read it here.
what looked like a 17-year-old boy who had been shot. They tried to save him, but unfortunately, he passed away from his injuries. He has not been identified yet, and we haven't seen if anyone in the neighborhood show up, so we don't know if he lives here or not. We've talked to a couple people who said they heard something last night, maybe around 2 in the morning, that could have been gunshots. They didn't realize it at the time, but now they're thinking that might have been what they heard. But police don't have any information about a possible suspect, a motive in the shooting. They are going throughout the neighborhood trying to see if there's any security cameras that can provide any clues. In the meantime, they're asking anyone who might have information to come forward.
Yeah. Yeah, 17. Pretty young. Yeah, you hear that a lot more. We've been watching quite a bit of stuff. There's stuff on the tube that you can find from different states and like what's going on in those areas. And it just seems like, yeah, with the social media, certain types of music and certain activities, yeah, the it's the youth, it's and it's been a thing, for a long time, but yeah, it's still like it just seems like they're younger and younger, and then just more senseless things going on. And who knows the exact details about all that, but yeah, very, very dark stuff and scary. I have my nephews who, but two of them are 19. And so they're into, like, one of them is into going out and stuff, hanging out with friends. The other one is the complete opposite. What's up, Hillbilly Urban? I see you, Russell. Welcome, welcome. Haven't seen you in a minute, Hillbilly Herb. You been chilling in the cuts like band-aids? How you doing? Hopefully feeling nice and brought something for the chat. But yeah, I could go on about a bunch of things that have happened around just this particular area. And it's I don't know. They did report on the news. So, it made it to the news, but I don't know if how far that it seemed like that was a Channel 9, I think. And look at the cameras tripping. It's like zooming in and out. So just be aware of that. I'm not going to try to mess with it anyway. Not at this point. But yeah, and no one is exempt. It could happen to anyone, and I'm aware of that no matter what. So that's why I just try to be aware of your surroundings. And yeah, I could go on about the topic, but it's just yeah, I wanted to share that. Sometimes we don't get to share those types of things, and I want to be able to share more of what's going on around my world here, so y'all have an idea of you know what's happening here. It's pretty cool how the camera keeps zooming in and out like that. What's going on? I don't think I'm doing anything to make it do that. Look at that. Whoa, really? What precinct is that, Russell? And I heard of some stuff like that going on, I want to say a while back. Yeah, you are a tripping camera. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you've been busy. Hillbilly Herb. Sounds like he's been doing the plant dance out there, up there, wherever he is, in an undisclosed location. There's Daryl. What's going on, Daryl? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the camera there. We'll have to take a look at that after this. Yeah, so that's what's popping this weekend at the shop. And then Monday sounds like Andy Decodes on YouTube is probably going to have me on. He been trying to line it up again, and he's been busy and going through some schedule changes, which is all good. It works out for me. And then Star Fox, Kenny Star Fox, haven't heard back from you, bro. Hit me up. Mentioned I'd be available this week coming up as well. And yeah, anyone else out there want to line something up? Yeah, things have been pretty busy here, so keeping myself active, which is a good thing, and hope you are as well. Y'all staying busy out there? Yeah. What else? I seen there's another Bigfoot report added to the mapping project. It was a bit of a throwback. It's like a 2000, I think it was a 2003 report or something like that. Look, we got some action there on the island. Some boats moving around there. Little boat moving around. Some vehicles driving on the backside of the casino there. Anyone, and that's inside. It's they call it the casino, but I think it's more of like a theater inside. I was expecting like slot machines and stuff like that. I didn't get to go in, but I didn't see anything like that. It seemed more like a theater. Maybe someone in the chat's been in there. And I was checking a report on some of the algae blooms going on here locally in the ocean. It's been affecting a lot of the sea creatures, which is always a bummer to hear. We get that a lot here in Southern California, like not the algae blooms, but just like toxic stuff that gets out into the waters, and they'll close down certain beaches and stuff. It's pretty gross. And then this algae stuff they say is yeah, really messing with the marine life, and even our friend Cosmic Sovereign Cosmic Wildman got a shared a video clip of a dead dolphin. Pretty sad to see. And yeah, they were mentioning that some of those blooms could be from runoff of nutrients and stuff like that due to farming. I would imagine, and which was a thing up north too. A lot of the rivers up there would also get these algae blooms, and yeah, it would affect the waters, the wildlife, and even like yeah, they would put signs to warn people not to have their pets drink the water and stuff like that. Yep, pollution. What's up, Cass? Yeah, checking up on Catalina right quick. What else popped off today? You catch the speed chase, Cass? What about you, Daryl? Hillbilly. I didn't see you on the live earlier. If you didn't, check it out. It was a reckless one. And still I haven't heard any updates on people that might have been injured. I would imagine people got hurt. We didn't see anything, you know, on camera that, you know, anyone physically hurt at the moment, but there was a lot of cars that were damaged. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of insurance companies being called up. Yeah, no worries, Daryl. There's never any pressure to come catch me. I know a lot of people go live. I see you all around as well. You catch me when you catch me, man. We're just hanging out here as the camera continues to trip out. See what's popping right here.
And possible for a suspect are now 144 North Oxford Street, apartment 22. Here's one no personal assault to view the Coleman PR store. There's possibly 390 or female mental illness. Minor comments for additional. Code 212-236, already 2013.
Look, his brother Nighthawk. Had a good show
Steve
tonight.
45, 4 Tom 1, Sam King 1, 2 Edward X-ray, Nora Union 0, 77276, returns to a 1992 Toyota 4-door, license 7, Mary Robert Henry 197, for Andre.
That's how I walk right now.
12311 47th Street, Los Angeles. Correction.
What do we do? The
Waymos? 1231147.
You never heard of a Waymo? They're driverless cars. They're driverless Ubers, basically. Driverless taxis.
Looks like he's heading downtown there.
You go to an app.
Hollywood Union 679, 689, screaming woman.
You schedule it to pick you up and take you wherever you want to go.
Possibly coming from the Roosevelt Hotel. Code 3 incident 248 645.
Yeah, hillbilly. You know, that's one perspective. It definitely seems like that.
Western Hollywood 27044 Hawthorne.
You always have to look on the opposite side.
I don't know if Waymo's. I've never been in one. I think it's got to be cheaper than Uber.
I think I'm just
or about the same price.
I'm back here in the city.
Why would anyone?
It's like, oh yeah,
take Uber.
What's going on out here? And even like bigger.
Phone DOC.
I think it might be cheaper because my friend told me like he took one night.
Smaller cities.
And I think he's the one that said like, no, Uber's got really expensive.
Obviously, on a smaller
scale. Thank you.
Remember when Uber came out? It was cheap. It was cheap.
It's crazy to see
like all companies, they compete. They get cheap. They're not making any profit.
Different countries.
They just get funding after funding after funding until they finally get big enough where they're making a little bit of profit. And then they buy out. They get more funding and they'll buy out the competitors.
Yeah.
And then once they have the monopoly, they raise the price.
Contrast.
There you go. That's modern capitalism.
In New York,
that's the goal.
A bunch of crazy clips of stuff happening in the subways in New York.
Build a company, get
subways,
become one of the biggest companies, get money, buy out the others, your best competition,
amazing,
and then just start ripping people off because you want a monopoly.
Another world.
Possibly 390 on unknown narco. Code 3 incident 263 RD 668.
Yeah, we had a few laps over with William Nighthawk here. You can see his video up here. Nighthawk High Strangeness podcast.
No shirt, black sweatpants,
And
black
that was a few
Converse
hours
shoes,
ago.
390, code 264 RD 467.
Much love and respect to them out there.
Since 30, 50, and 5539.
And we had a little fun in the chat. And also, you know, Nighthawk always brings the fire.
Bronco 267 RD 2146.
I think Waymo should be cheaper, will be cheaper, but it's a small company,
So
so
he puts his heart into
Charles William 13
what
George
he does.
96.
it's a small company and they actually own the cars.
I definitely respect
Uber
them.
has a
We had
crazy
some
business
laughs,
model
too. It was
because
good.
they have other
Yeah.
people using their own.
So yeah, we're
Sorry,
downtown now.
That's why it was.
We'll see if something interesting pops off, like a good call. We'll get back to it. Got the train going by here. All aboard. And then so tomorrow, Latchkey Hustle and Heidi Pop. Y'all got your notifications on for that? I shared it out on my, let's see, we could check out my posts. In case maybe someone could put that up in the chat if they haven't set that notification for themselves. Y'all know Heidi Pop, right? Heidi Pop is amazing. Great energy. She's doing her thing too. So definitely want to support her. And we did a little chat with her last weekend. And so it's super cool to have Latchkey on next. And he in my book is a heavy hitter. Let's see here, posts. There it is. Boom. Yeah, Heidi Pops. High vibe human experience hangout with guest Latchkey Hustle. Raising vibes and observing crafts. And so 2:30 p.m., y'all, that's Pacific Standard Time. And I'll get my little logo out of the way there so you could see her channel there. But I think even if you type in her channel, because it seems to be a popular name, a bunch of other stuff will pop up. That's why hopefully someone will check this out in my posts. I don't think anyone's going to put a link in the chat. Not at this hour. I'm surprised there's anyone in here. But yeah, I'm excited for this. And I'm sure Latchkey, we'll see where they go with it. I wonder if he's going to share any videos. Maybe he'll have some exclusive stuff to share that day. Again, we're just chilling here, just taking it easy. And we might as well tap into this. I'm just flowing with the go. Something told me to go ahead and follow through with this one. We've been trying to pull this one off. And we attempted on the night we were covering the mushroom hunters missing out of Oregon and along the border of Northern California there, Oregon, Northern California. And what last night we touched on the huckleberries, the berries, missing berry pickers, the mushroom pickers have been coming up a whole lot in these chats. And I've talked about that I also lived in Southern Oregon and we love mushroom hunting. Yeah, that's about the only hunting I do. And yeah, so this guy went missing out of one of our areas where we go mushroom hunting and where I go Bigfooting. So anytime I'm mushroom hunting, I'm basically Bigfooting, squatching and shrooming and squatching. What is it, hillbilly herb? Both. And yeah, so yeah, we touched on this case. The band has not been found, and it's been a while. You could see this is from June 6, 2024. And we'll go ahead and read this again. And this one didn't have the details of him leaving at 7 p.m. in the evening, which I thought was a little odd. The Klamath County Sheriff's Office says clothing was found over the weekend that may have belonged to a missing or to a mushroom hunter missing since May 2nd. Gerald Jerry Dwayne Severson was reported missing west of Lake of the Woods in the area of Dead Indian Memorial Road and Keno Access Road while hunting for mushrooms. Another search was organized for Jerry over the weekend in that area in the hopes of locating evidence of his whereabouts. While the missing mushroom hunter was not found, police say they found articles of clothing that generally appeared to match what he was last observed wearing. The clothing, which is not yet confirmed to be Jerry's, had not been discovered during earlier searches. Which I was asking, what did they? So they had searched this area, didn't find clothing, and then found the clothing when they happened to be in that area again. Is what it kind of sounds like to me. I don't know. He was last seen wearing dark colored sweatshirt or jacket with a hood and dark colored Carhartt pants. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Klamath County Sheriff's Office by dialing 911. And so it's been a while. And I was trying to share, I've been learning to navigate here. And hopefully that showed on your end. Still worried about that. That happened, the other night with the maps and also earlier with the streaming of the high-speed chase. I had noticed that the audio cut off towards the end there. Not sure why. I don't know if I might have hit the mute, but I was like, dang it. But it was cool because it was already towards the end of the stream there. But yeah, you'll see me glance every once in a while. Make sure that line is on there. And so yeah, in other articles you'll find that they say he left at 7 in the evening, pretty late in my book to go do it. But I mean, it doesn't mean, I'm sure there's people out there that probably go maybe not for long, but just really quick before the sun sets or something. And who knows where the sun was at that time. But yeah, let's see if we could pull off by sharing some clips from a folder that I put together of the area there. And let's see, we'll do that like this. We'll exit here. And anyone getting tired, feel free to take a nap in the chat. We'll be sure to wake you up before we're done. All right. I think we got it here. So there are going to be some pictures. I was going to say there's going to be some pictures and videos. And some of it is not quite from the area, like this particular one, but this is from Oregon side of things. And there on the other side, you can see beautiful Mount Shasta on the California side. And yeah, look, you could even see some of those trippy clouds that they forget what they call them. It's not cumulus clouds. What's the word from that they almost have like this saucer shape, and Mount Shasta is known for them. Oh yeah, cheers. Taking a sip here. But yeah, I really love this picture. And so I talk about one of our neighbors that we had in Southern Humboldt that was his besties with my queen. And she's from the Mount Shasta area, but also grew up in Southern Oregon with my queen. And so they're super tight. And when they moved from California, they moved back to Oregon, and we soon followed them. And they ended up getting a place that was just epic, super huge. And yeah, their place had a view of Shasta just like this. And you know what? It could be that this picture is from their place. And I've shared some pictures from their place before. And man, would I love to have a spot like that. All right, on to the next. So this is pretty much getting into some of those areas. I don't know exactly. Well, they mentioned the two highways, or two, not highways, but two roads. So that's more or less an idea of where the guy went missing. But here we'll look at some pictures from in and around that area. Also, the video clips. So this you can't really see, but the queen and I would go up into this area. And on one of the times that we went, we started running into some morels. We're like, whoa, I think we found a spot. And so on this particular trip, we took a ride up there in hopes of finding some mushrooms. So we put the message out there and started looking around. And the queen's good at it. And, you know, and this is one of those things I feel like they find you. And once you start finding one, they all start popping up. These were really hidden. These are morels here. You can see these over here were the blonde. I guess you could call them blonde. They have more of a blonde look to them. That's a darker one there, and there is a false morel, so you got to be aware of that. That's a spring, and spring is off in a different area, but we did stop there on our way. Let's see. Uh-oh. And we pulled out there. Let's see what happened. I just hit a hide button. That button was in the way. Could I still click on these? No. So we'll reshare. There's Mount McLaughlin. And we did go through some of these the other day. I think we're doing a test run. Yeah, because we've seen this. I think this might have been some sort of weird thinking it was a cat print or something like that. Some more morels. I don't know what happened. It's not letting me click that. I don't know what's up with this stuff. Oh, yeah. Did a little video of this, but there was this stump, there was this tree down, and someone had propped up several pieces of broken I guess you could say logs and branches. Had a teepee shape to it. And this is like on an uphill. I would say like a military crest area. Got my attention for sure. From down below, it looked like a teepee. And I had to make my way to it. And so I guess this is a picture of that. But yeah, we did get a good video of it. Looked like a good hiding spot for sure. If you wanted to hide from something. And Bigfoot believes in fire safety in Oregon. There's one of those, who knows, maybe the Fae living there. You know, I'm always curious about these openings in trees. This is, I don't know exactly where this is. This is Oregon for sure. Here's the fire marshal. Ran into him at Trader Joe's. We had a good talk, shared some information, got each other's contact. We're supposed to meet up again, but that didn't happen. But I still have his number, and I'm got to get back to him. I want to pick his brain about some things. And dang it, I have no idea where the what happened to the videos here. Let's see. Maybe if I split the window or something. Hey. Maybe not. It's not letting me scroll here. All right. Well, whatever. I guess we're sharing just those pictures. I do have quite a few videos from that Lake of the Woods area. And I really like it. There's something about certain areas. And, you know, that's part of the Cascades there. And the name, you know, just Lake of the Woods. Just the name itself has a particular, gives me a particular feeling. And when you're up there, you do feel like it's not super high in elevation, but you do feel like I felt this like, yeah, like you're on a hill, you know? And so, yeah, I think something about that feeling. And then the woods in that area, you just, it just screams Sasquatch. Coyotes are probably running out there right now. Got the neighbor's dogs active. But yeah, a little peek there of some mushrooms in the Lake of the Woods area. And so it just makes me wonder what could have happened to that man and what is happening to these people when they're out mushroom hunting or whatever it could be. And you know, one thing that came to mind too, because we've talked about, I've heard of cartels or you know, organized groups, serious organized groups that are also involved in the mushroom picking. And so maybe, you know, that came to mind, you know, like, and I know people that aren't even on that level as far as like being part of an organized group or something like that, um but are very serious about their mushroom picking areas, and to the point where I've heard of people getting violent and yeah, fighting over areas and stuff like that. So if these other call them gangs or cartels or whatever are involved, maybe some of these people that have gone missing picking mushrooms had, you know, maybe something to do with that. That could be a possibility. Anyway, so that'd be a more human criminal element. But yeah, no, I think there's definitely something stranger going on with these berries and mushrooms. and something more paranormal, spiritual. Let me know what you think in the chat there. And yeah, we'll keep diving into these cases because there's definitely more. And the hunters is another one. You know, we talked about the mushrooms and the berries being like, I guess the berries are a superfood, right? And certain mushrooms are like very medicinal and magical. So they could be a superfood to certain people and maybe certain animals. We know that bear love their berries. And are they big on mushrooms, the bears? I don't know. I'm sure they probably munch on mushrooms as well. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's probably stuff you could find in folklore, like Fey folklore, having to do obviously with the mushrooms because the fairy rings come up. But at the moment, I can't think of anything having. I don't think I've heard anything to do with berries. Has anyone heard of anything doing having to do with berries and the Fae? I'd be interested in that. There's T-Bone. What's going on, T-Bone? Jerry, welcome. He's next to Mount Gerhardt. And that's funny, that name popped up. Where did I see that name earlier? And it made me think of Ken Gerhardt. Y'all know Ken? It's Ken Gerhardt, right? Cryptid hunter, cryptid dude. Salute to him. Or it's yeah, Ken Gerhardt, I believe it is. So that name came to mind. And I heard it earlier tonight. And hopefully I'll remember where, because it made me think of Ken again. And where is that mountain, Jerry? The 41st or 42nd degree north latitude. The hat, says T-Bone. What hat, T-Bone? My hat? Yeah, I had to bust out a different hat for now. My other one, my knitted one's all tattered. Needs major surgery. I need a new knitted hat. Those I usually get custom done, so I need to find somebody with some knitting skills. I don't mind just getting it all solid one color, but it's always nice when they could put little designs into them. And one of the chosen, what do you mean there, T-Bone? Catching up with the comments here. Yes, sir. Ken and BMR. Bringing up T-Bone's comments here. Maybe he was chatting with someone else, trying to make sense of it. Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes you'll dip out of the chat and you'll get back in there. It's quite confusing because you don't know who's saying what, and you got to try and make sense as much as possible out of it. And then as you're tending to that, trying to keep in mind what should we talk about next? Like what's gonna pop up next? At least I put those pressures on myself. I put pressures on myself a lot of times, and it looks like AXN is at a scene here, so let's go ahead and check them out, see what's popping out there, y'all. Don't want to completely bore everyone, but I do want to hang out. So let's see here. let's go back to channel. Uh-oh. Got pew shells.
Huh?
Go ahead and leave this yeah. Subscribe to AXN News if you like that stringers. We're in Los Angeles here now. And we'll check out
for the casings.
Good.
Yeah, you can't pass right now.
Hey, what's going on?
Looking good. Somebody got shot.
Oh, somebody shot. Oh, there it is.
Somebody shot. It says somebody.
Pew
was a party or something? I don't know. I think there was something. Somebody got shot. Amigo? Yeah. Amigo, friendly.
Greetings, Nancy.
I think that's the family over there. Someone, I don't know who it was, but someone got shot. But I think they're all right. Over there, right? Because they're in the ambulance.
Oh, yeah. No one. That's one of the words.
Usually, when they have in the ambulance, means they're stable.
Mm-hmm. No one's exempt.
But they're stable.
Exempt.
When they put them in the ambulance,
all the issues we talk about, from the homeless issue.
What's the name?
To
the ambulance
queuing, we were talking about that earlier.
Name.
I don't know. 17-year-old that just got taken out here the other day. Just anything, addiction. That keep that in mind. Everything. Having food, just the basic stuff. I remember to count those blessings, not to take things for granted. And even being into Bigfoot and all this stuff. Again, we're talking about different subjects. Going out into the woods into these areas where these active areas. Sometimes active areas. You never know. One day things could just So yeah, we gotta take always
all right, we're gonna take
the proper precautions as much as possible.
There was a shooting.
As I learn more,
someone got shot. Some guy, I guess. I don't know if it was a party or something, but someone got shot.
And continue talking about these cases for some reason.
Well, they came into the shooting, then they changed it to assault with the deadly weapon. And they said they had a gun with a laser.
However, I could help out by talking about it, bringing them up.
How come everybody's leaving?
Help shine a
everyone
light.
left.
Help.
Okay.
Yeah, so either someone got
out there and
assaulted,
you never know.
Or most likely they got
I've
shot.
gotten feedback on certain things that I've talked about, and just that little bit of information that I got back was like, wow, you never talked about it. I never would have received that. And you never know where it could go, and hopefully we're not. Of course, we don't want to offend anyone, and these streams, they go from subject, and sometimes we'll have it laugh as well, so it goes all over the place. And as you can see here, we're into cryptids, the ETs, the UFOs, all the paranormal, everything, as well as real life. I mean, that's real life too, but things that are going on in the streets, in our neighborhoods, in other countries. Yeah, I heard about that.
1 hour ago from
this
Santa
is
Monica,
live
Medicine.
now, T-Bone, if you're asking. You can check out AXN News.
Suspect 3 male black,
I don't know
20
what part
years
of
old.
LA that is.
Suspect 1 and 2 of black clothing. Suspect 3
We were
white
just in
sweatshirt, weapon
downtown
used is
earlier,
black
so I'm
with
sure
a
it's
black
not too
semi-automatic
far.
handgun and a 6-inch silver pocket knife stock standing.
Yeah, there was
Property taken
other.
US
I
current
got
fee
oh well, I
incident
got
0311.
an alert earlier. I mentioned on Citizens app. They said there was 20 guys in Boyle Heights, which is that's near the shop. 20 guys in the alley with pew-pews and stuff, but I don't know. I didn't see anything.
390
Tried
of
to
the
read
watch
the
set,
post, but I
7
couldn't
queen
find it, so
units
maybe
and the
they
watch.
deleted it. And I mentioned again, I
150
checked
woman
out that post
1218
on
on
that
Rockhouse
site.
Avenue. Suspect is a female black
One
50
time we
years
got
with
one,
white
the
pajamas with
guy
code
on a blue,
26373 NRD 842.
and I don't know if he was dressed as a clown or something like that, and we had driven by there and there was no one up there, so
I think we might have it
got
pursued.
away. He asked for something, and but it was soon after we got that alert, and we're like, oh, we happened to be in the area. We looked at the news there. There was nobody there, so it could have been just someone messing around. So we've become aware to
31 FP plus 23, 31 FP plus
double
23
check
status.
some of their posts. But what I do like is when you're able to go live there also.
Can
When
you let them know that we're to the
live,
rear of
and you're
McDonald's at
seeing
29th and Black?
live footage from the scene.
1653, Roger.
1714.
Looks like he's leaving here. Go ahead and get out of there. And let's see, I mentioned a new Bigfoot report. Well, it's not new, but it's new to the website. Got submitted. And we've been on top of it. I've been checking it out every day, and pretty much every day we've been getting updates. And I seen one, I think it's out of Utah, possibly. We'll check it out here in a sec. And there it is. So this is the Bigfoot Mapping Project website. And yesterday we took a look at this report here out of the Sierras. It was Fish Camp. We also went up to British Columbia here. Checked out that report. And so I believe it's this one out of Utah. Did we read this one? There was one out of Four Corners, and it was out of, I want to say, forget what state it was, but it was over on the right side, it seems. So this is the new one here, this green one here. We'll check it out. And yeah, we touched on this Nebraska one. I don't know if this one's new here. Let's see. Yeah, this seems like a new one here also, so we'll check it out. Looks like it's Tennessee, northern Tennessee, and then Tennessee had another one. It was right on the border up here as well. So this one is date 3/18/2025, 5:32 p.m. There's no height, no sex. Vocalization there was. There's a disclaimer. Describe your encounter. As we finished feeding our animals, we heard a howl that sounded like the Alaska howl and Ohio howl. Anyone familiar with the Alaska howl? I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure which one he means by that, but if I listen to it, then I might recognize it. But Ohio howl, we know for sure. And one of the reports yesterday that we read, I'm not sure exactly which one it was, but it was from the map here. Also described the Ohio howl. And we also talked about how Matt Moneymaker from the BFRO recorded the Ohio howl. And it also says that it did it twice. Then the coyotes started howling back. I grabbed my phone to record it. but it stopped. Bummer. So they didn't see any young, no footprints, no wood knocks. She says her husband, additional comments, and kids were at the back of the property and they heard it too and came running to see if I heard it. We all knew what it was. It wasn't a coyote or mountain lion. Now, this sounds very similar to one yesterday. If I don't think I read this one, but it was something like this. But it could be that I might have read it. Let's see, what's this one up here? This one says 5/20/2023. In case I didn't read it, we'll check it out. There was a vocalization, and this is not the exact location. I still do research there. Oh, yeah, we did read this, did we? The shape. Yep, yeah, we read this a few nights ago, and you could check that out if you're interested. But yeah, I think that was the latest one here is this Utah one. Oh, look at that. This one's 8/28/2009, 3:42 p.m. Height 7'5". No vocalization. Describe your encounter. One evening, my cousin had come running out of the creek and said he saw Bigfoot. Yikes. Trying to pull a prank on all of us grandkids. So we went up and told my uncle, who was 15, 16 at the time, and he said he wanted to go out and hunt it. We went up into the creek area around the bend. None of us saw it at first, so we split up. I ended up going with my cousin, the one that said he saw it, further up the road and around the bend where the others couldn't see us. We stood back to back, and that's when I saw a big black furry figure step out of the woods and walk towards a wood pile that was stacked up. It looked like it was bending over to either hide from us or to pick something up. Me and my cousin didn't wait around to find out. We went back to my uncle, who then walked back the way we came, and it wasn't there anymore. Huh. So that's Utah. And we could zoom in on the map here, and let's see, hopefully tell us what area it is here. Moab, right near Moab. There's Arches National Park, Canyonlands National Park there to one side. Where's the petrified forest out there? I'm interested in that too. But yeah, I've heard quite a bit about Moab and having to do with like the old world and all that. Think isn't that where John Levi is from? Hmm. Yeah, I've been having quite a bit of fun with this map here, and I encourage that you do too. Well, oh, there's Jeff. What up, Jeff? You got the weekend off, bro? What are we chatting about? You just got here? All types of different things. We're just doing some random hanging out, chopping it up as we usually do. No set agenda here. We're just checking on some Bigfoot stuff right quick. read this report yesterday. And let's see if anything pops up today. Yeah, no, read those. Nothing new there. Anyone got anything exciting planned for this weekend? Yes, no, maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe we'll line something up. Even though we're gonna have a busy weekend, I still want to hop on live here. So maybe we'll think of something interesting, and we'll dive into that. And maybe we'll do it from the shop. And tomorrow, maybe we'll do another sound check before we do our set on Sunday. And I'm thinking, I was told I should probably stream the set also. So I'm thinking we could stream the set if that's the case, but I just won't keep it up so there's no copyright issues or anything like that. And that'll be fun. Be able to hang out with all of you, and we'll have fun playing some music. What you think? Yes, no, maybe.
What?
I didn't hear that.
What?
Oh, yeah. All right, y'all. So y'all go get some rest. We're going to check out Latchkey tomorrow with Heidi. And we'll see what else is going on. I'll give y'all a report from the shop. Wishing you all a great weekend. And we're going to slide up out of here. Let's see. Can you hide me? What's up with
Mm.